Of course, the founder of communism was Karl Marx, a Jew, also a high priest of the Church of Satan, and Richard Wurmbrand, a great Christian man who was a prisoner over in Eastern Europe of the communists, certainly exposed that. Hey, in Soviet Russia, it was the Jews that founded, the Illuministic Jews who founded Soviet communism. Don't think they were just communists. They weren't even Russians. Most of them, they were Jews, and some of them were from the United States. Here's a poster that was distributed in Russia early in 1917, right after the communist Bolsheviks had taken power. It shows the 5 leading founders of Soviet communist Russia. Oh, they were proud of these men, and they put out a poster to recognize them. There you see, by the way, Vladimir Lenin. His picture is at the very top. And right below him in the center is his chief deputy, the number 2 man, Leon Trotsky. All 5 of these men were Jews. And by the way, this is also from this book. You can get this book, Behind Communism, Criminal Politics Magazine. Behind Communism. You'll find out that it was run by the Jews. By the way, one of the men who exposed this fact was this gentleman right here. Winston Churchill. Of the Jews, he wrote an article, by the way, all the way back February 8, 1920, Illustrated Sunday Herald of London. Before he became Prime Minister, he said, from the days of Illuminati leader Weishaupt to those of Karl Marx to those of Trotsky, this worldwide conspiracy, that is of the Jews, has been steadily growing. And now at last this band of extraordinary personalities from the underworld of the great cities of Europe and America have gripped the Russian people by the hair of their heads and become the undisputed masters of that enormous empire. The Jewish Illuminati, who were underground but had billions of wealth, now are the masters of the Russian empire. This man, an American Jew, helped to finance the Bolshevik Communist Revolution. Jacob Schiff. Here's a picture of Stalin. He was married to a Jew, had a Jewish wife, but many people say he was not Jew. There he is with Lenin. Then here's a picture of Lenin. He went mad in his last days, screamed, would howl at the moon. He died of syphilis of the brain. He was Jew. You say, well, I never knew he was Jew. Hey, here is an article that came out, Associated Press across the United States, talking about the Lenin Museum. They still have the Lenin Museum and the body of Lenin Museum. It talks there at the museum. It talks about how many tourists come there. And now the curator of the museum and all of the Soviet press, now that the communists have fallen over there supposedly, they admit that Lenin was a Jew. This article talks about it. Yes, Lenin was a Jew. That's something they hid before. Now here is from the Jerusalem Post International Edition. Who was a Jew? Why, Lenin, of course. Why, Lenin, of course. We can keep going on talking about this. Had so much information. By the way, here's another picture of Mr. Trotsky. Did you know he was from the Bronx, New York? He was editor of a communist Jewish newspaper in the Bronx, New York. He left with money from American Illuminati Jews and went over and joined with Lenin to found communism in Soviet Russia. If you don't believe that he was in the Bronx, New York, just read the Encyclopedia Britannica. Here's the section out of it. And it has his real name. His real name is not even Leon Trotsky. His real name is Lev Davidovich Bronstein from Bronx, New York. Here's another Jew that did much of the killing in the Soviet Union. Lazar Kaganovich.